I'm Wyatt J, and I'm at one McDonald's out of 41,822 locations, and today we are going to be figuring out how the whole process and how McDonald's makes your food get to your bag super easily. The whole process of how they have thrived and gotten to this point in the whole business, how they're able to serve all these customers. And we're going to be talking to Mr. Paul Diaz. Hi, I'm Wyatt J, and I'm standing here with Mr. Paul Diaz. He's an owner and operator of over 23 locations here in Tucson.
Yep.
And we are going to ask him some questions on running this business.
But before we get started with our interview between me and Mr. Paul Diaz, here are the 4 questions I will be asking him. The first one is, how did you get your start at McDonald's? The second one is, what have been your biggest challenges in the business? The third one is, what have been some of your biggest successes? And the last one, the fourth one, is, what advice do you have for young entrepreneurs? Alright guys, let's get started with this interview.
How was getting your start in running locations at McDonald's, over 23? How did you get to that point?
So actually, it's a great story. I started just a little bit older than you when I was 16 years old. It was actually my first job, and I started as a crew kid and I worked my way up. And I played sports in high school, and McDonald's back then and even today, so still today, was really good about working around my school schedule. So I was able to play soccer, keep up my good grades, and then I worked weekends or after school a little bit during the week. And then when I graduated from high school, they asked me to be a crew trainer and get into the management development program. And I learned some great skills like I talked about and that I could use, pretty much anywhere. But my major in college was business, and the classes I was taking in McDonald's and the classes I was taking in college, we were covering the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? I like school, but I don't like it enough to do the same thing twice. So I decided, you know what? I'll let McDonald's show me how to run my own business. And after a couple of McDonald's classes, they were really professional and well organized. I said, you know what? Maybe McDonald's is that business that I choose to own one day. And I talked to the owner that I worked for early on, and he kind of put me under his wing and showed me the ropes. And I purchased my first restaurant 20 years ago. I was in Colorado. So my family and I grew up in California. We moved to Colorado. We were there for 2 or 3 years. Did really well there. And it was a growth opportunity to come to Tucson and buy 5 locations. So we sold the 1 restaurant in Colorado and came to Tucson and bought 5. And then from 5, we just grew a little bit at a time and got to where we're at today, 23.
I am very amazed. What are some of your biggest challenges in running these businesses?
Good question. One of our biggest challenges is always people, and retaining our people, hiring our people, and staffing our restaurants with enough people. What we've done to combat that is, the minimum wage in Arizona is $14.50. We start all of our crew at $15 an hour, and we've got a really strong training program where you can become a restaurant department manager or swing manager and quickly get to $16, $17, and up to $20 an hour. So people is probably one of our biggest challenges for sure.
What have been your biggest parts of the business that you've succeeded in?
I think one of the biggest parts of my success is that McDonald's is a very operationally focused business. So the operations lead to your success. How quickly you can get the customers in and out, how quickly you can get sandwiches out of the kitchen, and then developing people to help support that. So me growing up as a crew kid and then holding every position from crew kid to assistant manager to restaurant manager and supervisor, I personally ran all of those operational crew stations, so I have a really strong operational background. And in the beginning, when you're establishing your business, and a lot of people ask me, what's a secret to owning your own business? I say, understand the operations, because fixing the operations and making them more efficient and effective doesn't cost you any more money. You don't have to buy more equipment, or you don't have to spend money. You just have to execute it. And if you can fix your operations in the beginning without spending more money, because in the beginning of your business life, you have a lot of debt because you borrowed money from the bank. and being able to execute at a high level operationally helps you get a head start. So if you're gonna own a restaurant or a gas station or whatever it is, my advice is understand the operations so you can be as efficient, as effective as you can in that operation piece, because it really doesn't cost you any more money or any more capital to improve it. It's just knowledge and then executing it. So the operational knowledge is a big piece.
What advice would you have for young entrepreneurs?
Great question. I think that I would fall back on what I think has made me successful. So we talked about understanding the operations and of the business that you're getting into. But I really think that my secret weapon and the one thing that separates our organization from other fast food operations in the area is that we have great people. My people are my secret weapon, and we go out of our way to take care of our people. We invest in their training and their development, and we have a motto that we want you to be successful, but you really define what that success is. So if for you, success means that you want to go to school and you need a part-time job where you can learn some skills, but then you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to be an engineer or a teacher, we'll support you in that. We've got tuition assistance. We'll help you with training. We'll work around your school schedule. Or maybe, you want to be a McDonald's owner operator or a McDonald's restaurant manager. Either way, we're going to support you at the same level. We want you to be successful, and we want to be a part of that success. So treating your people with respect and allowing them room to grow and develop, I think that's something that any business, if they follow that it's going to really contribute to their success. So let me show you the back of the house.
Okay. Let's see how McDonald's works. What makes them so successful in their operation?
So we call this the heartbeat of the restaurant. It's the kitchen. It's where all of our product comes from. And literally, we talked about the old building. That wall was probably 10 feet in. So this kitchen is 10 feet wider than the other one. It allowed for newer innovative equipment that I'll talk about. This area back here was not existent in the old restaurant. This is our beverage area. So everything from here back is beverages, from shakes to frozen drinks, frappes, to coffee, tea, beverage dispenser. So this is pretty cool. One of our latest and greatest beverage dispensers. We've had this technology in McDonald's for about 15, 20 years. This one is for the front counter and for delivery orders. So let me show you what's your favorite soft drink.
My favorite one is
All right, I'll get you a medium Dr. Pepper. You hit enter. So it twirls around and goes to the medium. It'll grab your cup, drop it, come over for ice, splash the ice, come over for the syrup, and then it'll let the fizz kind of go down, and then it'll fill out the rest of it, and you just got to put a lid on it.
It knows to let the fizz go down.
Yep, on every order.
Wow. Holy heck. You got to do the fizz and everything.
All right, so that one's yours.
You get this whole drink that you get from McDonald's out of that machine, and it does it all itself. That is just amazing.
So when we go to the back, I'll show you where the syrup is coming from. So the ice maker is up top. So it's an automatic ice maker. We don't ever have to refill it. So they must have punched in an order on the kiosk. So somebody there just ordered that drink, and it communicates with the kiosk.
Is that showing it where it's
All right, so this is our digital area where we, so right now we're at about 60% of our orders are on the app, digital orders. And this is where we assemble our digital orders. That's through there. So if you order on Uber Eats or DoorDash, it'll pop up there and you'll pick up the food from here, assemble it here, make the drink, and then you'll put it on the counter right over there. And they'll come and they'll pick it up. So this is the production line. This is where all the sandwiches are made. On this side, and we'll go on the other side and actually see them make a sandwich. So this is the new prep line, and it's actually a condensed prep line, and it saves steps. So the buns are over here. So you got buns, your toaster, and then it'll come out of the toaster here. So she's got her mustard and ketchup dispensers on that side. So right now, we only have one side of the prep line open, but during higher volume, we actually have two sides where you can make sandwiches on both sides at the same time. But it's a condensed line where we used to start back over here, and we would go this way and then end up putting the food there. Now we're actually working backwards, and we're saving steps, because when she's done, she's actually going to drop the sandwich here, and it's going to go on the conveyor and actually come out up here. So you'll see it come up, see the conveyor back there? So there's a conveyor belt. She just drops it, and the conveyor belt brings it up, saving steps. And if you make thousands of sandwiches a day, if you're saving 4 or 5 steps, that's 5,000 steps throughout the day, and that leads to that efficiency that we're known for. So we have 2 grills, one for quarter pounder patties and one for smaller hamburger patties. So this grill here is for quarter pounders, one over there is for smaller hamburgers, and then the fryers one on the back. That's where we cook our nuggets, our chicken, fillet of fish, crispy chicken patties are all back there. So this line here is kind of the raw product line where we cook all the proteins, and then we put them in the cabinet here. The whole time for each one of the products. So the 10-1 patties are there, and they're on the timer. This one's got 3 minutes before it expires, and we have to throw it away, and then it'll blink and beep. This side over here is where we have chicken, nuggets, all those proteins are over here. So we have a beef protein and a poultry protein over here. Yep, always within holding time. So that expired, was past the holding time, which for chicken nuggets is 20 minutes. So that was past the 20-minute holding time. Cashier booth, so we take orders in cashier up here. You're good, and then, no, you're good. We've got monitors, so we know how many cards are waiting or how many cards are ready to order. And then when the card comes up here, it'll actually, is everything connected now where when it comes up, it'll tell you the color of the card?
Yes, it actually shows you a picture of the card.
Yeah, so because we take 2 orders at the same time, and so we don't take money for the wrong card or pay for the wrong order, when the card comes up, it'll actually take a snapshot of the card. So we have sensors in the drive-thru underground that see, so this car is lane number 1. That car's been at that point for 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that's a timing mechanism that we use to make sure we're using that efficient and getting out. It's kind of the back of the house, so sink area with the dishwasher, our dry storage area back here. So anything that you don't need to keep refrigerated, cups, napkins, paper products. But are you familiar with, I'll show you actually over here on this side. But this is our multiplex. And what it does is, so the smaller boxes are the products that we use less of, Diet Coke, Sprite, Diet Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. And those 2 tanks there, tank 1 and 2, that's pure Coke syrup. So that's a 75-gallon tank of Coke syrup. So these are 5-gallon boxes of syrup, and that's 75 gallons. So what is that? How many boxes go in there? 75 divided by 5.
I have never seen that much soda in my life.
5 times 3, 15 boxes, right?
15 boxes go there.
Right. So that's Coca-Cola, the syrup that we use the most of, and it mixes in with air and water and carbonation, and it goes in through the roof, and it goes back to the Coke dispenser that was up front. So there's lines running through the ceiling, and they go through those there, and they're refrigerated. So people ask why our Coke and our Diet Cokes taste so good. So every 3 months, Coca-Cola sends somebody out, and they calibrate this machine. They make sure that the water temperature is right. They make sure that the the Coke to syrup ratio is right on, and they test that every 3 months, and then they lock it down, and we can't adjust it. So it's always and it has to be within a certain temperature range. We have to filter the water before it goes in. There's got to be water filters up there. So it's got to be a certain quality of water, a certain temperature of water. So it's got to be dialed in exactly to the Coke specifications, and that's why you get that perfect bag of Coke with that. All right, so walk-in refrigerator. It's at 34, and then the freezer head though it's at -6. So the refrigerated products, everything that refrigerated. People don't think we have real eggs. There's real eggs.
Real eggs?
Real eggs.
Not fake eggs. These are real, brand new eggs.
Yeah.
Box.
Want to crack one on your head? Just kidding. So yeah, lettuce, cheese. And right now, we're actually going to get a delivery later today, so it's actually really low right now because it's just our first day. And then freezer, buns, most of our poultry and our proteins are frozen, and we cook them in the fryer. Kate, she's my CEO. She's one of my
Nice to meet you.
longest-term employees. She's been my right hand for 15 years, 18 years, something like that. So, been around a long time. She was actually in charge of the building process. That's one of her responsibilities. So she was in charge of making sure everything was sequenced and in line, and worked with McDonald's construction and the corporation. We got to keep an eye on things to make sure we get done in time and get done effectively. And that was one of her big roles the last, how many days? 5 months. 5 months. Yeah. This is the break room for our crew. We're going to. We have to post a lot of things for labor logs and things like that. This is the first restaurant we're doing, but we're actually going digital, where we're going to put everything on a thumb drive and then use the screen to communicate to our crew. And anytime we need to update it, we can take the thumb drive to the computer, pull down a new file, plug it in, and get the new information. So rather than change out our communication with paper or laminated stuff, we're testing that at this restaurant. So
So it's all nice and comfy and supposed to relax and enjoy.
yeah.
It's so nice. Just hangout area.
Yeah. These monitors is their electronic production system, so it tells you how much product to make and how much product to put in each tray. So right now it's calling for 1 tray of fillet of fish and put 1 patty in the fillet. It's calling for 2 trays of crispy chicken and put 1 patty in each tray. And it looks at history of product that we sell, and it'll look at months and years worth of history and come up with an average and say, okay, normally at this time, you're going to sell 2 fillet of fish in the next 20 minutes, so you only need to have 1 ready. So if you order 2, then we're gonna have to cook a second one, and we'll barbecue, have you pull away. But this is kind of the production system that tells you exactly how much product to cook or not cook. So the famous ice cream machine. What do you know about it? You can be honest. Yeah, it breaks. So this is the newest technology, and I actually started buying this machine a few years ago. It's made by an Italian company, and it has a lot less moving parts than the older one that has a reputation for not being so efficient. So ice cream, milkshake, so it's one machine that does both. So you pour the milk into here. You can see the milk there. And then there's a chamber in the center that freezes it to a certain temperature. So the ice cream machine is harder, so it freezes to a lower temperature, and the shake machine is a higher temperature. But they're same machines, frozen. Yep. This is the frappe and chillers. So it's made in. I'll ask her to make the one.
Oh, the frappuccinos. Those are probably the best.
Yeah, blended ice. So the ice machine there, and it fills the syrup and drops the cup there. This is our machine that makes lattes and mochas and frappuccinos.
All the things. Your coffee, the McDonald's coffee is just the best coffee.
Yeah, so
People love it.
there's the beans, real coffee beans.
You gotta show them the coffee beans. This is the classic coffee beans that McDonald's uses. They're wonderful for black coffee, all different coffees. I love it.
Yep, so let's go out this way back in the lobby.
So what did you learn, Wyatt?
Gave you that much.
Well, I learned that one of the biggest things I learned is that there's a machine that can make your soda. That was probably the most amazing thing. I never even knew that was a thing yet. I didn't know that was invented. But the operation that goes into it to make it super easy to just make a Big Mac, like it's all organized. Like everything's in a certain area. You don't have to look around for something. You have to walk to the other side of the restaurant to get something and then go back to the other side. It's all right there in just a few steps. So it's super organized and easy for the team to make your food fast, and that's why they're able to get it out super easily and fast for you to enjoy your food.
What about the processes? What did you learn about the processes? Did you see how all the processes were streamlined?
Yeah, the whole idea of how, like you go from the meat, get that, and then the buns are gonna fall out, and then you just work your way down to create it.
What did you learn about real eggs at McDonald's?
They exist. Real eggs.
Oh, real eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they exist. Just like real eggs exist. Just the way they would be at home that you would get from your grocery store. They're the exact same thing here.
Every Egg McMuffin's got a fresh cracked egg. All right, so the magic question is, when you apply for your first job, where are you going to apply?
McDonald's.
All right, gotcha. Sorry, Dad.
I'm Wyatt J, and I'm here with a customer here experiencing this new location, this new awesome design.
Yes, this McDonald's is spectacular. It looks so fancy, and the ice cream is a 10 out of 10. I recommend it, and I think that my experience here is a 10 out of 10. Customer service is great.
Anyway, guys, that is all for today. If you liked this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I'm back again with more videos. As you know, I love music, so I'm getting back into my music, and I'm going to continue to make music. I got good new projects coming for you soon, but I'm also going to remain to keep doing my YouTube experience. So anyway, Wyatt J out, and hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
And one more time, subscribe.